Hey Speechies, it's Sarah, and I want to talk to you about the 3 most important things you need to consider when you are deciding where to go to school. The number 1 thing you need to look at is cost. Don't be like me. You do not want that student loan debt hanging over your head. It is crippling. You do not want to overpay for your degree because in many parts of the country, your salary will not be enough to cover like $100,000 worth of debt. My experience, I went to Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. It is extremely expensive, and I had a spouse, so he paid my living expenses. And I know people that had to borrow everything. And so they were in, minimum $100,000 of debt, because at the time, tuition cost about $10,000 a quarter. Now it's well over $15,000 a quarter, and there are 4 quarters per year, and the program minimum is 8 quarters. So I walked out of there with about $80,000 of debt, and it took me 14 years to pay it off. And that is considering I did get some loan forgiveness and I did get some family help to pay that off. 14 years. If you're deciding between a cheaper program and a more expensive program, go with the cheaper program, because this will haunt you if you have a lot of debt. Number 2. Location, location, location. Where do you want to work? I chose Northwestern because my husband and I are actually not from Illinois. And I thought there'd be a chance that we would be moving to another state. And I wanted to be sure that my credentials from Northwestern would be recognized in another state. Well, we never moved. And I could have gone to Northern Illinois, which was another school that had accepted me, and walked away with $30,000 worth of debt and still a very respected degree. Location is super important, because if you want to work in Illinois, for example, go to Illinois school. The credentialing process is much easier, much more straightforward. Number 3, what kind of program are you looking at in terms of reputation for either being good, or there's a faculty member that you want to learn from, or if they have a bilingual concentration? I personally would not get into a lot of debt just for a program. On the other hand, if a ranking is important to you, keep that in mind. But overall, that's probably the most important thing. For example, I went to Northwestern University. Number 2 in the country at the time. I still believe it's in the top 3 of nationwide programs. Does that matter? I don't know. It's essentially like getting like a designer pair of jeans. You can get any pair of jeans and be fine. Do you want a designer pair of jeans? I don't know. Maybe you do. I think it's great. People always say things like, oh, Northwestern, yay, I don't care about labels. I don't think about those kind of things. So for me, it's not an ego boost, and it's definitely not worth being in debt for so long just for a label. So what really mattered for my degree was that I was able to get all the certifications I needed to work in the state of Illinois. Bonus, I will say that if you go to a state school in your state, you will be able to network better. It's just one of those things that, you don't think of at the time, but 15 years out, yeah, those are the things that come to mind. That's my opinion on graduate school, and I totally respect yours if it's different than mine. I hope that really helps you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.